What if tomorrow you woke up and just like that, you had the body you've always dreamed of? Your health was on point, energy levels were high, and your confidence, through the roof. Completely Possible Fitness wants you to know that it's possible to change your life and make your dreams come true. We specialize in weight loss, muscle building, functional training, group exercise, and nutritional advice. Don't let another day go by not having exactly what you want. Contact Copo Fit and let us help transform your life. Copo Fit is on all social media, or you can email us at copofit@gmail.com. That's COPOFIT@gmail.com. Do you love drama as much as I do? Plot shifts and heart-pounding turns will keep you enthralled in the new book, Soiled Sheets by Phoenix Ash. Dana and Marshall are drawn to each other, but their flame has a tendency to burn and splinter all that once mattered, quite possibly even each other. Will they make it through the debris or become part of the ruins? Find out when you purchase your copy of Soiled Sheets by Phoenix Ash. Now available via Amazon Books and all Kindle devices. And it's free with Kindle Unlimited.
You're tuned in to SayWHA Radio with your hosts, Justin, Taz, and the other guys. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go.
SayWHA Radio. I'm going to just start with this one and just say headline, see what you say. Baseball coach is suspended after he forced his players to spit in his face.
He lose damn job.
A Greek man was convicted of stealing electricity despite being dead. Yeah, convicted him after he died.
So he didn't do it before he died.
Yes.
No, okay. What's he dying around over?
It's me.
Say what? Say what? One more goddamn time.
All right. It is Wednesday night, so you know what time it is. SayWHA Radio is coming at you guys. Got your girl Justice here, just wanting to welcome everyone back. Thank you so much for listening again. We are continuing on with our conversation on what is friendship from one of our listeners who sent in a request asking what actually made us friends. Was a very great question, by the way, Sharita. Just wanted to say that again, and we'll continue answering this this week. Please bear with me. I apologize for not getting up the episode earlier. As you can hear, I am still sick. Very, very congested, and I apologize about that. But there will be another episode that will be going up after this one. So this episode, which is friendship, and we're speaking on the R.Kelly and Kevin Hart issues on this particular episode, and there'll be another episode discussing the Fire Festival and Bird Box as well. So hope you enjoy.
Since we keep bringing up, we
gotta talk about the
R.Kelly.
We gotta talk about R.Kelly.
Lifetime Television aired a documentary called "Surviving R.Kelly," which is basically showcasing his years of abuse of women, children, and just overall kind of eclectic person.
Eccentric, I think is about.
No, we don't call it man. That ain't no damn eccentricity.
He freaky as hell. Okay. He's a freak.
That ain't
that ain't creepy ass.
So
freaky.
It was aired in 3 parts, and as you watched a lot of this stuff, you saw how many people were actually complicit in helping him with this stuff, and that he had been abused himself, and that the person that you saw as this entertainer and just overall type musical genius is really just some old weird
scumbag
middle school shopping.
Did you? But did
like
you
that's
not
the helpful
that?
neighbor
Correction.
from next door that got bodies
shopping.
in the freezer.
But come on now. Did you not hear these stories and know this stuff before that documentary?
We did. Yeah.
You saw the tapes.
We did. But the message people trying to put out is, if we already knew, why do we continue to be okay?
To turn a blind eye.
Like, because he's so good as a singer, we still be like, yeah, but TP2.com was the shit. Man, 12 plays.
You know what it is? It's messed up.
We all know he's messed up.
What I'm about to say is probably going to sound messed up,
but it's the way people think.
Yeah.
R. Kelly put out this music, and people don't even associate the music necessarily with him or with his acts. You associate the
Which is
music
funny
with
because he's
your
literally singing about the shit.
Like, it's like, I grew up listening to this, so I have so many memories
you
tied
remember
to
where
this.
you were when you heard
so
these
it's
songs.
like, like the songs are nostalgic to me. I can't just like erase my past and say I'm never going to think about this song again.
Like Cosby.
And say, what we try to do is separate the music from the man. From the person.
Because in our mind, I own that music. That ain't his music no more.
Right.
I have my own memory state music. That is mine now.
Well, that's what R. Kelly said.
It's fucked up. It's fucked up.
Wait,
but that's how people see it.
What'd you say, Jules?
No, I was going to say, we were having this conversation earlier, like about the Cosby Show. Like, can you say the Cosby Show was a bad show?
No.
You can't say that. Yeah. So it's kind of the same thing. Like, you can't say that the music is bad, even though R. Kelly is clearly a shitty person.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's how do you walk that line? Like, what's the...
Well, the thing...
It's very difficult to walk the line. The only difference I would say is with the Bill Cosby stuff, that hit us, that blindsided everybody. Because you didn't think he was just that type of person. He came out of nowhere.
No, I didn't know Bill Cosby.
Well, actually, no, D. I mean, we might not have known, but like, them allegations have been out there for a long time about Bill Cosby too.
You had allegations. Julie, you had the tapes. He peed on women. You saw the tapes.
He's talking about Bill Cosby.
I know, but I'm talking about R. Kelly. Like the differences between it. That's why I don't compare it. Like,
well, no, that's what I'm saying. Even with Bill Cosby, you had him already admitting to, I drugged these women.
Yeah, but he said that they were complicit in it. He didn't say that they were unwilling druggies. He said that they were complicit.
In his story, it was like
she knew what she was taking. Is what he said.
But that's what R. Kelly says. That's the problem.
But they're 16 years old.
There's a difference between a consensual and a baby. Damn it. Is there? I mean, at that point, there is. No. What I'm saying is after you've taken 18 Quaaludes, are you really in your right mind?
No, he sent it to it before they took the Quaaludes.
Yeah, he's saying it's basically like, hey, we went out and then we went to
what they need the Quaaludes for, then, Bill? What they need the Quaaludes for?
To feel better. Like, that's the same reason they take
ecstasy.
Yeah,
we don't,
like, hey,
you can't.
We're going to take ecstasy together.
We can't really say, okay, because we not druggies, but people out there just be like, oh, let me pop that pill. Like that. I'm scary. I am scary. But it's people out there that just, I'm pop this pill. They're going to be like, oh, I got this stuff. It's going to make you feel good. Okay.
This can help you relax.
Yeah.
Jules was trying to say something.
What'd you say, Jules?
I understand what you're saying, that there's tapes and everything. What I'm saying is it's still a similar situation, though. Because while you were growing up watching the Cosby Show, you didn't know that. While you were growing up listening to R. Kelly, you didn't know that. You found out about the P tape.
Actually, that's the problem.
You found about the P tape.
You knew he married Aaliyah. She was 15 years old.
I remember. My mama didn't let me watch this. Well, see, that's the thing. I actually remember
that in my life until recently.
Really?
I'm for real.
His mama was like my mama.
Well, they had it so obscure. It was like, is she really 15? Is she not? Like, they tried so many ways to try to cover it up.
This was pre-internet, pre-social media. So it was easy to just say something was a rumor.
I remember being in that room watching MTV, and it was a breaking news that came on and said Aaliyah and R. Kelly got married, and they showed the marriage certificate. I remember seeing that going, that is fucked up.
But it didn't show that she was 15.
Yeah, it did.
Oh, no,
they forged it, right?
No. They were like, which does not. No.
At that time, she was only like 17.
No. She was 15 at that time. I remember thinking that because I was.
No, she was 17.
No, when they got married, that was different.
That's what I'm saying. No. So, like, it had to have been before. Like, because she was 17.
The thing is, I remember watching that because I was like, dude, she's not that much older than me. How'd she get married? And the next thing that he said was that it looks like it's saying that she's 18 on this, and we don't know if we need to actually send out congratulations to it, but Aaliyah's always portrayed herself as 15. So, I remember watching that going like, this is weird. And then...
Why are you whispering? What you say?
I'm saying, like, why they not questioning the deacon or the priest or whoever?
That's not their job.
Who married them?
Yeah, that's not their.
That's not their job. If you go to the deacon or the priest and you say I'm 18, they've done their job.
Yeah, they just do the religious part, not the legal part.
Yeah.
But this is what I have a problem with the whole discussion around R. Kelly. People acting like we can't walk and chew gum at the same time. So the defense of R. Kelly is, well, where are the parents? Right? And I'm like, okay, that's true. The parents should have been in those ladies' lives. it still doesn't negate anything Kels has done. Kels is still a bad person. Like, you can't debate with me that Kels is a decent person. The whole concept of the show was, this guy is a shitty person. So if your defense is, well, what about these people? What about those people? That's a whole other... I can say they were shitty people too. I can say they were complicit. But the general message is, we continue to support this man who is not a good person, and he's repeatedly abused our women, black women. We can shit on him and also shit on the other people. The women that let those girls get flown out and stuff like that, horrible parents.
But they didn't put out 12
Here's
Play-Doh.
the thing. Here's what I think the ultimate solution is going to have to be. Because I'm kind of with T on this. Like, that his music, unfortunately, fortunately, whatever, was a part of the soundtrack to people's lives.
Yeah.
And you're not going to be able to take that away.
Yeah. Like, people were literally created because of his music.
But no. So, like, you can't. So, I would say, of course, don't support him now. Don't go to his concerts now. But unfortunately, you can't take away people's memories.
Those experiences don't go away. They can't be erased. Those experiences.
I will add that if he was to come out with new music today from this point forward, there's no reason to really rally around it. But like the music that you already kind of know about and it's kind of already been a part of your life before all of this became crystal clear to you, it's hard to take that away.
But I don't think
I still try to take it away.
I don't think they're asking
I try not to
people to do
listen
that,
to
though.
R.Kelly
I don't
stuff
think
now,
they're asking people to just
they
disqualify their.
Yes, they are.
Really?
Because I thought this had to do with people. I thought this had to do with people supporting him now.
Nobody supports him now.
No. You go on.
He still has shows.
And Instagram.
I'm not talking
it's a lot of people still supporting him.
He sold out a show out here, huh? Recently, right? Yeah, he sold out.
Like he still get. And the funny thing is, it's mostly black women in the audience.
Since
the
this
women
documentary,
who messed up.
It's called Infamous.
Ready to
No. Since this documentary has gone up, his Spotify streams have shot through the roof.
I'll tell you exactly why.
He's infamous now.
Yeah.
Like it's a different. It's like it's. Nowadays, like any publicity is good publicity.
Yes.
Bad or good publicity is still good for any celebrity. Like people are going to be curious about like the stuff that they put out. I understand that. I get that. Like that's just the way the world is. Why it's that way, I have no idea. But it is very difficult. Like for me, I know there's a lot of people who probably are like me to where you do try to separate celebrities' personal lives from the stuff that they put out because a lot of those celebrities are fucked up. Like a lot of them. Like a lot of people out there are fucked up. We just don't know that they are. It's just that when it comes to light that you find out that this particular person that you supported. I never knew. Then you're like, okay, well now there's no way to backtrack all the stuff that I supported. But if you knew like the personal lives of a lot of the people that you watch or listen to or whatnot, you probably wouldn't listen to or look at anybody because there is a lot of fucked up people out there. Yeah. We just don't know it. Not excusing him of that. It's just you try to separate that because at some point you're gonna get like Donald Glover. He never wanted to meet on the show with Community. He never wanted to meet LeVar Burton because meeting your
hero. He said you can't disappoint.
It never lives up to what you like imagined this entire time. It's like you knew this, but
I told you 1,000 times. I just wanted a picture. You can't disappoint a picture.
So, I don't know. Like I've always tried to separate personal and
some stuff you just can't, and in this instance, you really
all
can't.
Of that is reasonable. I have a problem with the people who are legitimately defending him. Saying,
well, I mean, honestly, this situation actually reminded me so much of the Jerry Sandusky, Joe Paterno type stuff because that entire thing was similar to it. It was years of abuse of this man using his power to just abuse boys. And so many people knew and nobody was saying anything. Joe Paterno was actually somebody who actually knew about it and didn't do a thing and had the power to stop it. Yeah. Didn't do a thing. Everybody kept saying, well, you can't take away what he's actually done and things like that. It's so similar.
Yeah, it's just like Harvey Weinstein. At some point, it became a culture. Like, that was just a culture that was accepted behind closed doors. Like, these are the things that you had to do in order to make it, say, like, on this level or that level. People did things that, obviously, you consider immoral, but in that particular business, that's why they say show business is corrupt.
Yeah.
Like, it's corrupt. It's a bad business. Like, if you get into it.
It feeds into
it. Yeah,
it.
you figure out, like, all the dark sides behind it. Like,
what's the boy who killed himself? One of the Corys. I forgot which one it was.
Ham or?
One of them. He said that exact same thing. It's like, it's just this culture of being able to take these children and do this type of stuff. He's been saying that for years.
Yeah, that's why I think, like, all these politicians out here, like, for God's sakes, if you are in the House or you're in the Senate, I think all of the motherfuckers are the dirtiest motherfuckers on the planet.
Yeah.
I've seen House of Cards.
And House of Cards was a drama, but they wrote the story based off of real life events.
Yeah,
like,
and it's like a culture that's just
interns and stuff
wrong,
who turned up dead and
it's
shit like
accepted
that.
in that particular line of work.
How would you feel if somebody came out today and was like, Stan Lee did this to me?
Somebody did come out and try to say that.
They tried. Well, they said that he was touching women's butts in the nursing home. With the nursing home, I'm like, he's 92 years old though. Like
every 92-year-old does that.
Like, but they weren't saying like he was like raping chicks back in the day. Like
that's what I'm saying. Like, what if somebody
we haven't heard it.
But then, like, even if that happened, I think it would still be just like the R.Kelly thing because you've already seen a lot of his movies. Read a lot of his comics and all that stuff, so you're not gonna necessarily take that away, or it's gonna be hard for people to psychologically take that away.
And Spider-Man fan because
it's like, oh man, I refuse to watch Avengers. No, you've seen Avengers already.
It becomes hard to do that. Like if you want to go back and watch that stuff, it taints it.
It does taint it, but also once you die, everything pretty much gets not nullified, but it gets leveled. That's why you don't hear people talking about the stuff that Michael Jackson supposedly did. Now, once you're dead, people try to pay you respect.
Yeah, they're not going to drag you through the mud.
I mean, my thing is, like, they stripped these people of their royalties. You know what I mean? Like, they took everything from Bill Cosby once they found out what he did. You know what I mean?
Right.
Y'all didn't know he was doing this at the time. So he built this empire on his own. Why would you take it from him? You know what I mean?
Well, I get it. Well, the royalties is based on what we watch now. So, like, we watch the Cosbys today, then he gets royalties off of that. I mean, but everything that he's made in the past off the Cosbys, they're not taking that
awards and all. They took it from him.
Well, I mean, think about it. You literally built that on a house of cards of these women's backs. There's no way you're gonna be able to keep that. No way.
Like they have to find some way to punish him. That's just how it is. OJ,
he's in jail.
But Dre, John, just like with OJ, right? Right. He got away with killing Nicole, right?
He was innocent.
He was
legally he was found not guilty, right? So what happened exactly right after it? They had the civil trial, and he ended up having to get up his Heisman and all that. Yeah, right. They have to get some type of
restitution. Was the swimmer guy? Michael Phelps, when they found out he was using marijuana, and how is this supposed to be? I'm saying
he's just saying like stuff.
I think that would slow you down. It shouldn't be a problem.
Y'all stripping these people of their accomplishments. You know what I mean? Like you can't do that to a person. You know what I mean? Like,
but did you accomplish anything if you do stuff like that?
But it's hard.
I mean, because think about it. It'd be the exact same thing for slavery. Can you really say America accomplished very much? Well, and they built all that shit on somebody else's back.
America away from them.
It worked.
So that's
shit.
That's what I'm saying. So, like, I got my high school diploma. I got my high school diploma, and I was smoking weed in high school. You're not gonna take it from me. You know what I mean?
But hold up. I kind of get what he's saying to a certain extent. I mean, he didn't graduate high school because he got an unfair advantage from smoking marijuana.
Right. He's saying the things that he did criminally didn't help him in his career.
Exactly.
So
now, like if Michael Phelps was taking crack and he was winning, then you could say,
like, of course, he was on crack. Of course, he was swim.
That's why he was swimming so goddamn fast. Nigga,
wait. I would argue that crack is a performance enhancing drug.
You can't really say
for a little bit
because he wasn't cheating.
You have to hold your breath.
Yeah.
So
he learned that from smoking weed. Breath control.
But for Bill Cosby,
anybody know holding your breath while swimming is hard to do.
Hey, shut up. We don't need to talk about that. We don't need to talk about that. That's a different conversation.
And smoking weed, it kind of makes your breath shallow. You know what I mean? So he won medals, gold medals. You know what I'm saying? So
he was helping y'all out.
Yeah, they didn't take none of that away from him.
Y'all took it from him.
No, they didn't. They didn't take his medals away.
They were trying to.
Yeah, but you can't. Now, for that is different.
Yeah,
but for Bill Cosby, that's a completely different thing. Because with all of that stuff there, no telling how that actually could have worked if he'd actually given those women the chances that he was supposed to give. Or
all right, let's bring OJ back in the situation. He killed somebody. Okay, fine. Oh, allegedly.
Okay, fine.
Allegedly.
Two people, by the way. Two people. He killed two people. Yeah,
this murder didn't affect like him winning all these.
Yeah, that didn't give him an unfair advantage.
Okay, but let me tell you what happened with that though. But here's the thing. Hold on. Wait. That's not actually like the specific reason that he ended up losing his awards and stuff. Like, technically, if you go look at the records, he's still the Heisman winner for that year. The reason he had to give up all of his trophies and all that was because he didn't have enough money to actually pay them back. So he had to sell all this shit to try to pay them what he was supposed to pay for their wrongful death.
Yeah, he got them dudes by gun.
So,
but as far as technically, he's still the Heisman winner. He still is the winner of those awards.
Yes.
Like, they didn't take his name off the records. His trophies just had to get sold because
the money that he was supposed to pay the families.
Yeah, did they take him out the Hall of Fame though?
No,
he's still out.
Yep.
He don't show up to nothing though.
He can't show. Yeah.
He's on the roster.
Yeah.
Yes. So
this award is.
But what R.Kelly, what they're trying to do is they're like, okay, if he's never going to be convicted of anything, right, of any like illegal activity, they want some type of punishment out of it. This thing with Cosby was before he was convicted, people thought, okay, it's never going to happen. So their way of giving a punishment to him was taking his show off the air. Was
I feel like with
taking his name off of. Didn't he have like statues and stuff like that people had to take down?
Even that, I still feel like that's acceptable. Because to me, that's not necessarily like I'm taking this away from you, Bill Cosby. That's like I'm using my right to free speech to say, hey, I don't want
I'm
whatever
distancing
it is
myself
that I have
from
associated
that.
with you.
Yeah.
I don't want my television network associated with Bill Cosby. I don't want the building on the campus at my school associated with Bill Cosby.
Yeah.
That's still not taken away from his accomplishments.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, you can't have kids going to this school or people walking around these buildings and things like that who have been victims of these types of occurrences.
School was owned by slaves. That school.
Stuff like that.
I don't think
and
got a statue of a slave owner.
And the thing with R.Kelly, you know how they talking about they trying to take his music off of Spotify, right? But they was like, it's such a slippery slope.
No, they did. His music been off Spotify.
No. It's only certain stuff.
What's still on there?
It's a lot of stuff still on there.
Like if you search R.Kelly on Spotify, it's a lot
of
the songs still come up.
But it's a slippery slope because if the official reason is because he is a sexual abuser, they will literally have to go through every artist's history that's on Spotify because legally you have to have a precedent. And if the precedent is he's a sexual abuser, then his lawyers can literally go through every single artist that's ever been accused of that.
Yeah, and especially like a lot of the people from
these are still
rock
up there.
eras
and they say,
and things like that.
That's almost his whole catalog. Yeah. It's still up on Spotify.
They say the searches for it have all went up. All the searches have went up over the last couple of days because of this documentary.
It's certain songs that are actually taken off.
And actually, the reason why is not even because people are just supporting R. Kelly. It goes back to what I said earlier. It's the whole nostalgia.
Mm-hmm.
When you're watching the documentary and they're like, oh, yeah, he was doing this around the time he came out with Bump and Grind. You're like, Bump and Grind? Yeah, I ain't heard that in a long time. And then you go search for it. And
especially younger people who didn't have that, now they might be curious. Younger people might be like, okay, why are they bigging him up so much? So they look him up.
Yeah.
And see what
and it's like, oh, man, I ain't heard that in so long.
I will never be able to hear You Are Not Alone again. I'm sorry. Yeah, I just can't.
But it's funny because...
Michael Jackson?
Well, when they said, what's the inspiration behind it? No.
R.Kelly wrote a lot of music.
He wrote the song, but it was
why
actually...
he wrote it.
Why he wrote it is because a certain young girl was impregnated and lost the baby. And that is the...
I don't think they realize in the music business, like, how many songs R. Kelly wrote for people.
I cannot understand.
He's illiterate.
How you write songs and you can't write?
I have no...
The funniest joke I saw
Hey, you don't have to write it down on a piece of paper.
Right.
You just making it. You know.
I think he did write it down on a piece of paper, and it was illiterate, and people just figured out what he was trying to say.
That's what I was thinking.
He was trying
That's
to say
what I was
this.
thinking.
I think he wrote it down like Antoine spelling. I don't know.
I would love to read that piece of paper.
But I saw a joke.
Where's the original?
Like, the joke said if R. Kelly is so illiterate, then who the hell was a lid writing a 4-page letter?
See? Look at that.
You saw Life?
To his manager to read to him.
Mark, you saw Life. Anybody in here can read?
Yeah. You one of them reading boys?
Motherfucker's 20 years old. Can't read.
But it's going to be something that, no matter what, he is judged in the eyes of society or whatnot. I cannot continue to listen to that. It just
seems
feel
like you're ready
now.
You know how creepy it is
Yeah.
to listen to Seems Like You're Ready now? My mind's telling me no.
Actually, listening to Seems Like You're Ready. Seems Like You're Ready back in the day seemed weird to me. I'm not gonna even lie. That seemed very weird to me. Seems like you're ready.
Somebody real baby.
I don't want to hurt nobody. He's telling you what he's doing.
Usually when you listen to those music, you develop your own interpretation.
Right. You think you're doing it yourself.
I'm thinking about such and such girl.
What I'm doing myself, not what he's doing.
What R.Kelly wrote this shit for.
No, but I'm just saying, Seems Like You're Ready always kind of just seemed weird to me. That always, I don't know why. It just really seemed weird. You typically
put yourself in the scenario.
What about the actual song 12 play? He hit us with 1 through 12.
You come to my room of fun.
Exactly.
No way, I mean, yeah.
What is the room of fun?
I think one of the funniest memes.
That room? Dolls?
A 12-year-old girl.
Wow.
One of the funniest memes also was they had a picture of the little Power Wheel, Jeep. And they were like, this must be the Jeep that he was. like a little pig.
You remind me of it. But I will say this. though. I ain't gonna lie. There's some people that I've seen on my Facebook that were defending this shit.
Yes.
It made me question them. Really, dude?
What did that mean though? He said he wanted to ride it. How does the man ride the Jeep?
I thought that was somebody else singing that part.
No.
Well, you remind me of a Jeep, so what am I gonna do with a Jeep?
Yeah, he said the next line was I want to ride it. I'm as a kid. When I was younger, I was jamming it, but I'm trying to figure out now that I know my sexualness.
What position?
What position where the man is riding the.
Dude, it's R.Kelly. He probably came up with something, man. The guy seems like a very freaky person.
Yeah, I like that too. Yeah. Nah, I know that my
even if it wasn't him, it was definitely a man's voice.
I'm going through different.
I can see if it was a woman singing.
Going through different options.
But hold up, you don't even ride a Jeep. You ride in a Jeep, but you don't ride a Jeep. It ain't like you climb on top of the Jeep. Ride the
even
Jeep.
if you could, why would the man want to ride?
But
Jeeps? Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out. What does that line mean?
Okay, moving on. But
we're not googling that.
We're gonna come back. We're gonna come back to the whole topic.
A lot of stuff in this thing. I'm not
going to type in ride a Jeep.
We are coming back to the topic, which ends up being friends or whatnot. What kind of friends would allow this type of stuff? And can you actually be friends with somebody like R.Kelly knowing he's doing this stuff? Because just looking at the documentary, all those people were complicit in getting these girls too.
That's where
they're employees.
Wait. The thing is, some people actually, when they were defending it, it was the girls were grown, the girls were fast, or stuff like that. Or, she didn't say no. And
she willingly went.
Yeah, and I'm thinking to myself, okay, at some point, when does the perception of a person actually change to where you just money can't do that much?
You'd be surprised.
Damn.
You'd be surprised.
Yeah.
We talking about the South Side of Chicago, right? These girls. How many of them? I didn't watch the specials because I already knew what was happening.
You already know.
I've already been anti-Kells for a long time. I make fun of him all the time for that, but I didn't know how many of them had fathers.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
He's an older man with a lot of money. These girls are poor, probably don't have anything. Here's this older man coming in to step in and do things that,
not even just the older man. It's R.Kelly.
R.Kelly. Yeah. Probably the biggest star in the city at that time. He had to be the biggest singer in that city. He can get away with that with. Yes, right? They don't have a father around. Here he comes. I'm going to take care of you. I'm going to buy you this. I'm going to take care of this. I'm going to give your whole family a good life or whatever. They're teenagers. They're so impressionable, right? So you talking about friends. It sounds like they probably didn't have a father that could fill that role.
She's talking about his friends.
Yeah.
His friends.
How is that like? If we were in there and you came and was like, "Oh, this little young thing,
get your ass
motherfucking ass away from her, you're going straight to jail. Wait a minute.
Come on.
Even then, I think it's the same thing. I think a lot of the friends he had were people that he knew wasn't going to contest him. Like he wasn't going to surround himself with people who were going to stand up to him.
It was about money too, because they not friends; they're employees.
Yeah. I mean,
you paying their way for everything.
He surrounds himself with a bunch of punks that ain't gonna do nothing. That ain't gonna challenge him. They ain't gonna say, "Hey, bro."
She might be a little too young.
Yeah. Like, and if you do, he be like, "Fine, you cut off, get out."
Like
he knows he can do that.
She was that young.
Yeah.
Now. Like, hold on.
See?
For me, I'm saying for me, she was too young. For you,
yeah.
You might be alright.
Yeah. He knows who he can get away with it with. He knows the girls he can get away with it with. He knows the type of people he can hang around with who are going to condone it. So he chose his circle the way he needed it.
And let's think about this. The ones who came forward, they're the ones who said yes. He's probably tried it with so many different women over, 20 years?
Yeah.
Imagine how many women he's tried that. So there's been people to say no. You know it has to.
Yeah.
It's just those few that were so messed up in their lives that they were able to go through with it. That's what
you do surround yourself with people that are kind of like you are the company you keep. So those people could have they might have been okay with that.
Kind of it could have been a culture thing. Like, hey man, we smash chicks. We smash chicks, and regardless.
I didn't think about that. I didn't think about that.
Trans.
Then when the shit hit the fan, they're like, "Oh man, I tried to stop him."
He
was terrible. Let me get on the documentary.
The Michael Vick thing is a good thing, where like that was a culture for the dog fighting stuff.
Yeah.
But as soon as shit went down, you had all those people like, "Oh, nah, that was ill." It was Michael's Vick. It wasn't
even though he was running, we saw him on
But I guarantee you, they were complicit and they were fine with all of that.
But they're gonna always look at the celebrity. They're never gonna look at
the breadwinner.
Well, we know the entourage is the one that snitched. They're the ones that came up and the ones that told on Vic. They're like, well, it was all Vic.
Vic's house.
I would have done the same thing though.
I ain't going to
but
jail.
if he the one paying your way, why would you do that?
He going to jail, so shit.
Not if you don't tell him.
No.
My way done getting paid.
No. They got
if you don't tell him, if you take the fall,
you go to jail,
then he can still pay your way. When you get out, you going in for dog stuff.
Pretty much.
Animal cruelty.
Pretty much,
you'll be alright.
They brought in.
He had some fucked up friends.
You know you fucked up, right?
He had some fucked up friends.
Yeah,
like, let me take
them over.
Okay.
No, damn well.
It's a culture. That's the best way to say it. It's a culture.
Yeah.
And probably around Kells, it was probably a regular thing. And you know what? I'm not even saying around Kells. We all know somebody that was older, like, yo, man, he be weird around them girls.
The girls,
man.
yeah.
Like, why he always talk? Everybody, all of us know somebody. They don't have to be our friends. We just know someone like, hey, don't go around him. He weird. Like, most people aren't complete sociopaths where you can't tell.
Right.
Some people, they show the signs are there. We just choose to, we don't want to think the worst of people, so we just choose to ignore it. Like, he creepy, but he wouldn't do that. He would never do that. And then when it comes out, like, you know what? He always seemed to be
weird.
Like, and you don't want, and the problem is you don't want to wait till that stuff comes out. I'm looking on Facebook and I'm seeing people post like, man, well, we used to have girls do it. And I'm like, just because that's what y'all used to do, it still was wrong. It still was wrong.
Like, I've been seeing on my feed, y'all talking about R.Kelly, but I remember them grown men used to pick y'all up from high school.
I've been seeing those too.
And that's what we're saying. It's
and
wrong.
that was still wrong.
It don't make it right.
It don't make it right. It's still wrong. Even though you saw it.
That's the problem. A lot of times when you experience stuff and you now know that it's wrong, you don't want to be associated with it.
Right.
So you're trying to defend it as, this is what we always used to do. It was normal. It was a commonplace. But if a black person does that, then you have to remember, well, that's what white people would say.
Yeah.
It was normal for us to own them. Like,
own them.
You don't want to use that. You don't want to use that excuse because you give them that reason.
But that's one thing about it. This entire thing brings up the discussion within the culture because you know that a lot of the girls, they mature faster than
and they want to date an older man. They feel like the guys at their age probably aren't as like mentally experienced. Not just experience, but just they.
It's not. No. It's not even. It's just an attraction. It's not necessarily that you want to date. You just want to keep the company of somebody like that you could talk with. But it's a girl and a man. He has a different view of what's actually going to happen, where she's just thinking it's just talking type stuff. Other stuff starts to happen.
Oh, no, it's definitely
no. It's not always that. That's what I'm saying.
No, I said it's always going to be different scenarios for each. But like I would say, majority of the time, those girls were sexually attracted to the older man, and that's what they were looking for.
And then for the women, I mean, I don't know. So I guess I'll just pose a question. But like for the girls, do they look at the older guy as sort of a sense of accomplishment? Like,
look how bad I am.
Look how fine I am. I got a grown man woman. Like that sense of pride because of it.
I remember our senior year, a couple of our classmates, they would brag about having boyfriends that were in their 20s. I remember girls saying, "Oh yeah, my boyfriend, he going to take me to so and so. He's 20, 21, or whatever."
Like it's a badge of honor.
And in my head, I'm like, okay, I guess that's just how it is or whatever. Because girls like older guys or whatever. Because you never hear that much about dudes bragging about that. Like, because, you know, if a dude had an older chick, he'd be telling everybody. Because he'd be like, yo, man, I got this girl. She's 21. But
he wouldn't brag about having
what's crazy is
today. He wouldn't brag about having a younger girl. He'd brag about having an older girl. And that. But with women, they were more likely to talk about that. Because it was like, look how mature I am. I am such a woman that I was able to get this man or whatever. And so in our eyes, we're like, well, I guess when I get older, you know, I can pull a younger. I'm not saying me personally. I'm saying, but that's what guys, they grow up to think. Well, I can't wait till I get that age so I can pull younger girls because they're easy and impressionable. Yeah. And that it's literally like a domino effect.
They considered creeps now, though. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I don't know, man. I always thought them niggas was creepy. Like I remember going to my prom, and they be like, my date is in college. I would tell them, like, your date is fucked up.
That's weird. That's weird.
But you in college going to a prom?
I remember that, though. Like, our prom, it was dudes that were there. They didn't go to school with us, but they were like, it's my boyfriend, and these dudes was like college age.
So some of them, but you do have some
18, 19.
I would give 18, 19, but even then, like, I would still be like, if I was 19, it was a freshman in college, and my girlfriend was still in high school, and it was her senior year, and it was 19 to 18, I would be like, no, I'm not going to your prom with you.
Right. You going to the prom with me.
Yeah,
I went to your motherfucking prom. You going to my prom.
We already had the prom experience.
You rolling right on up to my prom at 19 and 18. You're just 19.
If she met him when he was in college, but
if they were dating 16, 17, 18, he just happened to be a year older, then that's like different.
That's that Romeo and Juliet thing that's on the transfer.
I would have recognized your long-term boyfriend at the prom. This nigga is about to join the military.
But yeah, that was a thing. I specifically remember some of my female classmates, they would talk about how their boyfriends or this and that. And it turned out their boyfriends didn't go to our school. They were actually older dudes. And it was a badge of honor. It was something that they could brag about. Obviously, as adults now, we're like, yo, man, that's not cool. But like, it was a cool thing to have an older boyfriend. And so we should watch our children, watch what they do, but we should also, as men, be like, yo, man, this is not right. You can't justify this shit, especially if you wouldn't have your daughter or your sister do that. You know, like, that's the easiest way to, and it's sad that you gotta, like, do it that way, but, like, look at it as if
you
it's your daughter.
Have to put something,
you shouldn't even have to do that. Yeah,
you
shouldn't have to, but that's the problem. You literally have to be like, picture your daughter, like, picture your daughter dating this dude. Picture your sister dating this dude. That's a sad thing that you have to literally do that just to get guys to realize.
And then you brought up the fathers on the women's side, but where the hell are the fathers on the men's side? Like, because that's an issue too.
Right, yeah. Because
like,
my dad would have never
if my dad ain't teaching my dad. Yeah. If his dad ain't teaching him how to treat women and how to court and everything else, then that creates another issue.
I'm afraid to look at it from that perspective only because what if R. Kelly's dad actually taught him to be this way? Then you'd have people like, oh, well, sympathizing with him because he was raised that way.
Well, I mean,
I don't even want to think about what the hell his dad taught him.
I don't know if it was his dad, but I'm pretty sure he had some pimp influence somewhere because you look at all of the things that he was doing and how he had them. Oh yeah, it was. Oh yeah, there was some pimps somewhere around him that kind of showed him the way. Like, Because like you listen to, like even in the documentary, they talk about some of the things that he said and how he got in them girls' heads and like made them feel like they weren't shit, made them feel like they were worthless.
You learned that from somewhere.
Yeah, exactly. And then he made them feel like, oh, nobody else out there gonna love you but me. I'm the only one that, you know, stuff like that. Sound like a pimp. That sounds like some shit a pimp would say.
R.Kelly was molested.
He was.
Oh no, he did. He did. Yeah. That was the first episode of the documentary. Yeah.
I didn't watch that.
So like,
women,
the girls should be smart about who they date, but guys we gotta respect the women also. Like it's literally on both sides.
Yeah.
Guys, be respectful. If it's a chick that's underage, you know it's wrong. There's no way you can try to make that shit justified. Like if they literally telling you this is against the law, don't do it. And don't be like, man, yeah, but she looked like this. Man, look at her though. I couldn't do.
That's crazy, man. Like I don't know, man.
No. Typically, what they'll say is that it's not illegal in every country.
Yeah, but the country you're in.
Exactly. They will say that. They'll try to use that as like a
say that to the warden.
Or they'll go do well in the Bible. Mary was only 14 when she like, come on, man.
People only live to 20 then, man.
Well, that's when people live to be 20 years old.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Come on.
But that didn't make
Corey Holcomb stand up. And he said in Iceland, the legal age to have sexual contact with a female, she has to be 16 legally. But you can't give her gifts. It's illegal to reward her gifts, anything like that. But you can have sex with her at 16.
Yeah, different countries have different
laws.
Yeah, but if you are an American citizen and on American soil, you have no justification in what you're doing. And so we have to like tell our sons, look, dude, don't do this.
Yeah, take your ass to Iceland.
Yeah.
That's a whole different thing that you talk like. That's great. They law is 16. Fuck that. I'm saying fuck the law. Like,
that's what I'm saying.
That's a kid.
It's a moral thing.
Fucking kid.
It's a moral thing. Morality.
Yeah, it's a moral thing, man.
It's not necessarily the reason why most people can't separate this because they can't see the damage that it does or that how it can affect this person. They're just only going like, well, it's not a bad thing. Everybody does it. When you do that to someone who is not of the right mindset to be able to absorb what's going on, it does not affect you the same way it will them.
Yeah, and you think that they're giving consent, but that's because they don't have the insight that they're gonna have 20 years from now. Right. 20 years from now, they're gonna be like, whoa, I shouldn't have did that.
Yeah,
and they're gonna have all kinds of regrets.
Yeah,
but I mean, at 15, they're mature enough to make that type of decision,
and it's gonna shape them into something completely different than you were so infatuated with at that point in time. They're gonna be a totally different person just off that one experience. That's what I'm saying. They're not.
They thinking about what they did can sound at the time. Not my mind's telling me no, but my body's telling me
for the future. Whatever. Still struggling with it.
Anyways, let's end the show by.
We didn't answer Sharita's question.
That's what I was just saying. I literally was about to say that.
We had one more topic though. Didn't we have another topic? Wasn't it the little girl, Jasmine Barnes?
Yes.
They got the guys.
Well, that's part of the topic.
Well, yeah, go ahead, Britt. You know what? I'm going to just cut this because that'll be good for me. We can make it 2 shows.
Okay. Well, you had a story. There was this little girl, I think she was 7 years old, named was Jasmine Barnes. I can't remember everyone that was in the vehicle, but
sisters and brothers.
How many? Who was it?
Sisters and brothers and moms.
Sisters and brothers and moms. They were in a car in a Walmart parking lot. I forgot what side of Houston. Was it the north side?
I think so.
It's the north side of Houston in a Walmart parking lot when a truck, or a vehicle pulled up next to them and just opened fire. Just blatantly opened fire. No warning, no nothing. Ended up hitting
the mom,
I think in the arm or something, and killing the 7-year-old girl that was in the back. And apparently she was the closest one to the door. She was on the outside.
She died instantly.
Yeah,
like the bullet went through her head.
She was on the outside.
The sisters were hurt by the glass breaking. They were just cut. Mom was shot.
So what ended up happening is, like, when they got authorities and everything arrived, the mom and the sisters told the story that they saw the shooter as a white male with blue eyes. That's
a red truck.
In a red truck. So you had today, the reason why I wanted to bring it up, because you had today, they found in custody, they have currently, that they have the suspects that obviously they don't match what the mom and sisters said. But they have suspects and they have actual reasonable evidence that shows that these were actually the ones that actually did it. But because these two individuals weren't black, because they're saying that it was gang related, and the individuals that they actually have in custody admitted that they targeted the wrong car.
Yeah.
It wasn't supposed to be that car. It was mistaken identity.
Mm-hmm.
They were supposed to be firing at a rival gang car. But because these two individuals are black, you have people on social media who are saying that this is a conspiracy and they're not going after the actual people that got the girl. So you didn't care about the girl getting shot. All you cared about was that it was racially motivated.
Because it's a narrative.
That drives me crazy.
Conspiracy.
Because
you don't even care
all
about
I cared about
the
all I cared about was that this little girl was gone.
It was gone.
Exactly.
Right.
No
So
reason.
and it turns out the red truck was actually there when the shots went off. He sped off like anybody else would do.
Yeah,
If you're driving and you see a drive-by, you're gonna speed off.
Oh,
So
okay,
unfortunately, the daughter and the mom saw that truck and just automatically, which you can't blame them for that.
Yeah.
They're literally getting shot at. So that's what they remember.
Yeah.
Mistaken identity on that point, right? The guy was speeding off. Now the narrative was, oh, this is some racist white dude randomly killing.
That's why it made national news. Because otherwise, I'll be honest.
That's unfortunate, and that's the only reason it made national news.
Because that happens more than it should. Obviously, it happens more than it should, but it happens often here.
Well,
Like,
so
we didn't want.
Everything happens for a reason, though. Maybe it was a good that she had mistaken identity and she did see a white guy.
Well, it's good that it got the attention because they were able to find it. But
that's what made them turn themselves in, most likely, is the attention that it was getting.
Right. But the problem is how people react to it
now. Because now they think that they don't
because my reaction was, thank God, I hope they give these guys a death penalty. Because I could care less the race of the person. A 7-year-old girl is dead. The problem is that some people, that small group of people that I was talking about that always have to heighten everything, they just had a smidgen, oh, it's a white dude involved? Okay, maybe we can bring this narrative over to racism or whatever. Mm-hmm. And that's the problem when you cry wolf a lot of times. It messes up when there's actual instances. So this is one of the instances where the wrong people got involved. And yeah, it did help with getting the killers found because I guess it was some witnesses who didn't want to say anything at first, but they saw how messed up this was and they spoke out, and that's how they was able to find the guy. That's the good part. The people you talking about, fuck those people.
It drives me crazy, dude, but it's hard to ignore ignorance. Yeah, it's very difficult, and like
there's no one that's gonna create an entire conspiracy to keep a racism angle going. Like no, like they. Yeah. I'm not gonna. Guess what? These guys are bad people. They did the crime. Right. They're gonna go to jail.
And when I first heard the story, I heard a drive-by. Somebody pulled up and just started firing on the car. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't think it was a white person. Yeah. I did not think it was a white person here in Houston.
I didn't.
I literally thought, okay.
When I heard that it was later on, I was like, what? Oh, that's different.
And that's why it got so much attention. Cause people like, what? What? Like, how evil would you have to be to randomly shoot up a car full of
wait until you get home and shoot up the whole family.
Yeah,
you shouldn't have cutting you up.
Motive. People need motive, and that's why it was so baffling to people. So when they did come out that it was actually gang related, we were like, that makes so much more sense.
Gang related, it was mistaken identity. I was like, okay, that makes hell. One of my favorite rappers got killed because of that. Hulk.
Across the street.
Yeah, across the street. It was mistaken identity. Pulled up on him, shot him. Like that happens. I understand that. So when they told me it was a white person, I was like, that
don't sound right.
If it is, that is definitely different.
I'm not gonna say that there's not any white people out here right now who randomly want to kill someone. All I'm saying is, in that situation, it made more sense that it was gonna be a gang-related shooting of mistaken identity than a evil white dude that's randomly killing
just pulls up next to a car full of black people and just starts firing.
But that's the problem when certain people get involved. They're really not thinking about the actual victim. They're thinking about how it can support whatever narrative that they've had in their head that they're trying to build up. It's sad, but I will say at least we got these dudes, and I hope if it's anybody else involved, I hope that they get them.
And that's all that should matter.
Because that's all I care about, man.
The gun doesn't care what color you are when you pull the trigger, so I don't understand why that.
And I bet you Jasmine didn't care what race those dudes were neither. So
she just
those people can go F themselves because I'm like, come on, dude. Yeah, this little girl is dead. And that is a problem with a lot of people. They do tend to be selective in their outrage. When the police kill somebody, we mad as hell when the police kill somebody, and then when one of our own kill one of our own, we just be like, hey, that's how it go. Like, you can't do that. You can't be like, oh, that's how it is in one instance, and then get so mad in the other one. We're supposed to be mad both times. We got to be consistent, and that hurts the message a lot of times, too. That's why that bullshit all lives matter stuff comes up, because they can use this situation. Like, oh, I thought Black Lives Matter. You're not mad because that is not a white dude, right? So in situations like that, when you giving those people the ammo for that, you're supposed to be mad every time. It was another guy who killed his girl. He had a daughter, and she had 2 other children. They were 2, 5, and I forgot the age of them. He murdered all of them. And I'm just like, what makes somebody that evil that they gonna shoot someone, a baby like that? Baby. And I can care less what race they are, man. If it was a white dude who killed his kid, I mean, we've seen that. White dude who killed, like, his whole family.
Oh,
that shit pisses me off.
You
know the one that recently they had pictures of him? That stuff pisses me off.
Yeah. That was his the one girlfriend. That, he went on TV.
Oh, yeah, he's like, please let her go.
Yeah, I remember that.
And
I was so mad.
Put them all under the damn house.
Yeah, because it was one thing, like, if he called the police, like, I did a bad thing. But the fact that he went on TV and he was like, that shit pissed me off. And I didn't care that it was white folk. I didn't mad.
You just looking at those little faces.
Innocent human beings. So, like, we gotta, look, when people aren't held accountable, when you find somebody, they did it, and then they not held accountable, they get off, that's when you can be angry. We see that a lot of time with the police. But the other times, like a situation like this, that anger gotta still be there. Everybody who had all the energy about a white dude killing her, they gotta be just as mad. They gotta be even more mad.
And that's the only thing that I've always shot back at with the people with the all lives matter shit, is that when we do kill each other, we get caught.
Yeah.
We go to prison. It's just that when typically when it's not us killing each other,
you ever seen a black dude kill someone on camera?
Yeah,
and then get off? No. So you can't be like, it's the same thing.
That's the only thing I've always shot back at.
That's the easiest way to come back.
The violence that we do against each other is that we get put in prison for doing it.
Right. And we're more likely to be put in prison and convicted. Yeah. You know, so that's not a problem here. The problem is when there's other people who aren't being...
Yeah, they don't get treated the same. The actual person firing the gun doesn't get treated the same depending on the color that they wear.
But these guys, I hope they get all kinds of...
Oh, they will. They're charging as capital murder. But you know how the justice system is. Since they're cooperating, they won't get the death penalty.
Right. They'll get
one of them is cooperating, I think.
Yeah.
Because the one is the one that really snitched.
So
the driver is the one who turned himself in.
Yeah. He was like, but my homeboy pulled the trigger.
Yeah. And think about it. And think about it. And think about it. If he didn't turn himself in, the hood would have got to him.
Oh, yeah.
Because I can tell you, everybody in the hood, if we knew who it was, the hood would have got to him. That's why we never find out who killed Hart. Because we know somebody in Dead End killed. We know somebody in Dead End killed his killers. Like, the guy, best thing for him to
that
do.
Shit out too.
The best thing that dude had to do was turn himself in, because he knew the hood was.
But actually, that probably ain't gonna help him, because the hood's still gonna get him in prison.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you that nigga that killed Jasmine.
Hey, nigga,
wait till the lights out.
I was the driver. I had nothing to do with
it. Wait till the lights out.
I was the driver.
Wait till the lights out.
Yeah, I was the driver too. I was getting my association.
Yeah. I want to ride.
I can't stand you.
Yeah,
you bring it back?
Really? He had to.
Oh, you gonna be a Jeep when the lights go out?
Yeah, I'm gonna wax it.
Okay. I don't even know what to say.
Yeah,
that's why we're friends, sure.
That's why we're friends.
Yeah, that is exactly why we're friends. Yeah, let's go ahead.
We're all just as silly as the others, so it just works.
It was so bringing it back in the show on that. Sharita's question was, what makes us friends, or what do you define necessarily as friends?
Can I start?
Go ahead, Tad.
Okay. Oh, so now you want to be first.
See?
Y'all gonna take all the stuff, all the good stuff. Okay. So the other guys are friends, and Justin and Taz are friends, and Justin and Dre D are siblings. So the other guys grew up together, went to high school together, most of them. Elementary.
They went to high school.
Yeah, that's what I said. Most of them, yeah. So they
by association.
Yeah, so they've been friends for years.
Even brother
Justin,
Jules.
Yeah, Jules too. Yeah, I forgot. And actually, we all went to
the.
Most of us went to the same high school anyway. But Justin is, how many years are y'all apart?
3.
Yeah.
See, look
okay, so Justin and Dre are 3 years apart.
Age, yeah.
We all went to the same high school, but Justin and Taz were just destined. I don't know. We only went to the same high school, not the same elementary or whatever, which is Worthing High School. Mm-hmm. And from 37 or something, I don't know. First year, we were just best friends. And it's been like that for
Yeah.
I ain't gonna tell my age, but she has a 21-year-old child, and
she was there before him.
And yeah, I convinced her she wasn't pregnant.
More than 2 decades. More than 2 decades of friendship.
Yeah. So it's about allowing people to be who they are. We don't always agree on everything, but we don't have to be angry about disagreeing. Like, I can have one opinion, she can have another opinion, and we just agree to disagree. And that's where a lot of friendships go bad. Like, just because you disagree with someone about a specific thing, it's not a fight. It's just okay, well, I mean, I see your view. Okay, that's cool. And then you move on to the next. Like, you don't keep jabbing or beating that dead horse. Like, it's a problem. The best part about me is I'm a Gemini. I forget a lot of stuff. I mean, it's certain things that just aren't
I don't even remember you saying that.
Right.
Like, I did that.
It's certain things that don't.
It's funny because it'll pop up at the weirdest times. She'll be like, I don't remember doing that. You remember when we did this? How the hell do you remember that?
Is that with the, you know what I'm going to bring up?
The bird.
The car.
Oh, yeah.
The car. You remember the car?
That was just because.
She a Gemini. She forgets stuff.
This time it's convenient. It's convenient memory. I don't remember that. Sorry.
But I think
I was the driver. Sorry.
But I think what helps with us, the other guys specifically, is that, like, I think the email they were talking about how people don't have real friendship, they have fake. Like, well, the thing is, we've known each other since we were kids, so I think as people get older, they have a representative. It's not their actual self; it's what they want other people to see. But when you know somebody from a child, you grow up with them and you know who they really are, so that you don't have to worry about. Is this really the person that is that really the person? Are they really that person? Or is it just a representative? We don't have that because we all literally grew up together. We know who we are. We know what we do wrong. We know what we do right. Our best things. We know what our weaknesses. So that I don't have to worry about whether someone is being upfront because I've already seen them. You know, like, it's nothing. It's no mystery there.
The funny thing is what Sheree is coming. One thing I do find is weird is I never have arguments with these guys, like actual arguments. Like, I can't think of a time
you can disagree.
We've had disagreements.
I mean, if you're talking about Batman and Superman, that's an argument.
It's like a debate. It's not like an argument.
It's not an argument to the point where y'all like fall out.
You have like a lot of friends. Like, my best friend. Yeah, we've argued plenty of times. Like, I'm like. Really, I've never had like an actual argument where like, man, fuck you, man, fuck you.
I think that's partially our personalities though, because like
we're not that confrontational.
I don't know
because we kind of laid back to the point where it's like
tell you to fuck off in a second.
Well, he would.
You know, like if I feel like you need to fuck off, then that's what it's like.
But at the same time,
and y'all allow him to be like that. Okay, John don't say fuck off.
Yeah, but at the same time, we would rather not deal with that.
Right.
So it's like, because each of us would rather not deal with the fallout of, man, fuck y'all, I ain't cool with y'all no more. We would rather not deal with that, so we just kind of avoid it. We just kind of be like, all right, well, whatever.
Are you going to bring up
I can think of a time in elementary school, right?
Wow.
Well, Andre asked me to go buy him a sugar cookie.
Right? Oh, my God.
They was out of sugar cookies, so
you don't bring me a replacement.
You didn't bring a damn peanut butter cookie,
did you? I bought him a chocolate chip cookie,
right? What if I'm allergic to chocolate chips?
I didn't know.
That is disappointing.
Get my mouth all ready for some orange juice. Ain't nothing but a swallow left in the container.
But I think some people when they get in arguments, they don't think about, number one, how serious is this really? Like, is it really that serious? Also, what could happen after this argument? What are we trying to get to? What are we trying to achieve? Because some people, when they argue to hurt the other person, and they're not thinking about anything afterwards. I think with us, we never would have anything. I would never want to hurt any of them.
we argue to agree.
That's main. Yeah. That's what I was gonna say.
Like, you can do something I didn't like, and I'll tell him.
Yeah,
we have.
We're
not gonna bring up a specific time, but
yeah, I will tell him. But it's not out of I want to hurt you and let you know how much you are stupid and you're an asshole. I'm not that. It's more like
no. Boy, relive the moment.
No, but that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Other people do. That's what other people do. Like other people go, you stupid. You're a shitty person. I would never do that. I would go, I love you and you're disappointing me, and I want you to do better.
Where your mind is.
Yeah, I want you to do better. I know you can do better. So I think that's what we have. We don't ever want to hurt each other. We just want each other to do something better, you know?
I think another thing that helps us is we come from different stock. Our families are close. Like, our families aren't judgmental. Our families accept people. Like, I mean, come on now, Popo Jesse in the other room. Like, that's not my Popo.
And bring it up. Also, all our families, let's be honest, Christian families, Southern Christian families, right? Yep, we all got families, people in the church, involved in the church. No. I'm talking about going to Bible study, you know, Sunday school. You know, we have that foundation also.
Not the women can't wear jeans.
Yeah, not that. Yeah. So that when you have a combination of good Christian values, I'm not just saying Christian values, but good Christian values, close families, that extends to how you are as a person, and it kind of like helps like keep the friendship strong. Right. Because some people who grow up in messed up families, they don't know how to be friends, because they can't even be cool with their own family members.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that helps too.
It's always weird. Like, I mean, our meetings were like when we first met each other well, not him, because he doesn't count. I met him at birth.
Johnny,
pretty much met him at birth. We've known each other since like preschool, the sunshine. T and Mark. Especially T, obviously, because we have the same name.
Exactly.
So that's literally
at that point. Well, actually, I'll be honest. When we first met, I kind of didn't like you because
I was going to say, it was kind of a competitive thing. I remember that. We're old enough to remember that.
Because people would always tell me, they'd be like, man, I remember we had orientation or something, and we got our student IDs. And like somebody walked up to me, and I was waiting on my ID. They're like, man, somebody just got your ID. They called your name. Some other dudes walked up and took it. I was like, what? So I went up there. I was like, y'all gave away Andre, my name? They're like,
Wow.
They're like, there's another one. There's two of y'all. I was like, two? I'm like, that must be a mistake. Yeah. And then we got to school on the first day, and we happened to be in the same class. And I finally see the guy that had my ID. In my mind, it was my ID.
This dude right here.
He said my
I remember because it was Miss Martin's class, the algebra. And I remember because she had all that she had. She went through a roll, and she was having everybody stand up and say something about themselves. And I remember she got down to our name, and she took a while. She looked like it must be some mistake. And she was like, Andre Mosley, and then we both stood up.
Now.
Okay.
Clearly, we got to edit now.
It's multiples of y'all, so it's okay.
She called my name, and he looked like, I know. That's why I stood up. She called my name. But that's when we found out we had the same name.
And I remember,
but then I found out he was actually a cool dude, and then it was like, all right, we good. You know, we laughed and joked around, like, we had half our classes together, so we like.
I think that's what helped.
Then it was like, all right, cool, he's a cool dude. At first, I was like, I don't know if I like this guy.
And it was messed up for me because I just came from Persian, and somebody else had my same last name. And going there, I was always every single from 7th grade, because I got there in 7th grade. I would always hear, "Are you related to Brandon? Blah blah." I'm like, no, I don't know him. Don't ask me that. And the next time I see somebody, apparently this guy was pretty popular. They kept asking me, "Am I related to him?" And I just I would get upset. Like, you find your name unique to yourself. Like,
and then you find someone with the same first and last name.
So
that makes it even worse.
Like, come on, man.
I find it funny when people ask y'all, are y'all brothers?
Or twins. We did too. Or twins. I'm like, who's
going to name your twins?
Why would you name your twins the same name?
That's what pisses me off. Like, so either you calling my mom dumb.
Yeah. or a non-creative. Not creative at all.
Or somehow my parents are a whore where they created 2 children 3 months apart. I was like, I was thinking it's disrespect. Like, I hate it when people say that.
And it's like, and they clearly don't think it through. So it's like,
funny. Are you guys brothers?
Yeah, because brothers normally have the same first name.
And last. Yeah, I'll be above.
And sometimes I just be smart ass with them. They be like, so y'all brothers? I be like, why? Because we got the same last name.
Yeah,
they be like, they got the same first name too.
What is that?
Like, fuck, they got to do this.
There's a lot of around here.
Yeah, I used to love, like, when we would go places and, like, they'd ask for a name and I would just sit in the back. I just like, wait for it. Just watch. Andre, or whatever. And the funny thing is, because it's weird, I met D first. We was in Mr. K's class. And I learned that he went to Persian, I went to Lincoln. Those were rival schools in middle school. So I was like, oh, well, we played y'all. I remember playing y'all, whatever. But we bonded over all the same shit. We like games. We like superheroes. We like wrestling, sports, right? So it was just literally natural. Mm-hmm. And then I found out there was another Andre. And I was like, are you serious? Like, yeah, same name. And then I met him. Then literally we all started having classes together. And it wasn't like, okay, that's going to be my friend. Right, we just always ended up being, like, we always were just together. Like, every time, if it was an event or something, like we would just always, like, if you look at old pictures, when people bring pictures of us, it's always us together. Like, regardless. It's not like we made it happen. It just happened. After school, hanging out, and then, of course, we met him through him.
Wait. Yeah, when D introduced me to y'all, I was like, like, this nigga got more free.
I knew it.
I had a feeling too. I was like, I don't think he likes us being around here.
I'm your friend.
Because he was there first. Right.
Let's go to the store real quick.
I'm day one,
Yeah. I always knew.
What the fuck?
I always knew that. Deep down, he was like, I don't want them around here right now.
I swear to God.
So it's the same way I feel when Jessica be like,
I swear.
Like, oh, my friend such and such. The fuck you mean? We grown.
Who is that?
Once Mark was gonna finish, I was literally gonna bring up how we met McCoy because that was the Jonathan. I was gonna say the same exact thing. He met McCoy, bro, from Circuit City. He met him at Circuit City. He's from Oklahoma. So yeah. Me and John both worked at Circuit City, but we worked at 2 different locations. And he just happened to work at the one that McCoy was working at, and they became friends because they were working in the same department. And then he brought him around, just like I had brought Mark and T around. And I was thinking the same thing, like, who the fuck is this nigga you bringing around?
The only reason I introduced him to y'all is because he was from Oklahoma, by the way of Dallas, but he didn't have any friends, like, he met me, he was like, bro, like, he told me once, like, bro, before I met you, I would go home, play the game, wake up, go to work, do the same thing over and over again.
It wasn't a social life.
Right, he didn't have a friend. So I introduced him to y'all, and, now we all cool, you know what I mean? So, and then, I'm sure we all felt the way.
I met him.
When he introduced us to him and
to Jules and
Titus.
Well, the thing is that
it really is a chain reaction.
But no.
We met Jules through Brian.
Right.
But what's funny is y'all met Jules through Brian.
Yeah,
exactly.
Because they worked at T-Mobile.
Yeah. Even though we all went to Worthing, I had no idea who these people were.
Yeah.
I knew Taz, but that's it.
I was like, what the fuck? This is no way. It's not destiny.
It has to be destiny.
FYI, say what community. Taz and Jado are like they know everybody.
They are a branch on the world tree. If you have any connection to one of them, you're going to have a connection with everybody.
No.
Well, actually, you're right, because I consider Jules to be that as well. Because I know Taz knew Jules, and somehow Jules is gonna get me to Oprah. That's all I need.
Jules. It would not surprise me.
But that is funny how that ends up happening. Like you meet someone, then they have a friend, and then they bring friends, and just people.
Yeah, because when y'all first brought Jules around, I know you. I know you. I'm like, you, ROTC.
Yeah. See, that's what I'm saying. It's selective. She remembers what the fuck she want to remember. But
I knew your ass would be like, I always thought. No, because
I felt a little bit that way too. Like,
you wanna know what?
When you first came around, I was like,
because you started Sharita.
No.
I don't know how I'm gonna like this dude because he probably gonna bring up old shit that we don't know about.
Right.
And we gonna be trying to leave us out the conversation.
And we had our own stuff. Yeah. And we had our stuff from school, so we can be like, yeah, that girl. Remember that girl? And you be like, man, like, fuck it, get her anyway.
Nigga locked the door and shit. What's the code? It's the grade that Andre made.
If you were his real friend, you would know that.
And I remember, because me and you used to go back and forth chopping on each other all the time. Shut up, Mark. Because you know how to call someone a Mark. And he would do that, and we'd go back and forth. And at first, I was like, I don't think he really liked me or whatever. Like, I think he just like, man, I don't want this dude around hanging out. But then it literally like it just goes away.
Our friendship.
We had our own thing. We literally, but we ended up having our own friendship, like just me and him bonding.
Go eat some more.
Yeah.
That's how I met Mark. Like, why does Mikey always see Mark?
We look like the number 10.
Yeah. That's how I used to always talk about how we look like the number 10 when we stand next to each other. Like we just always talking on each other. But it really turned into like, I don't even look at us as friends. We just
brothers,
family.
Yeah.
Like when I see y'all moms, I say, hey, mom. When I see your dad, pop, whatever, I say, hey, yo, what's up? It's not like, oh, Mr. I have to be formal. No, it literally is like a family thing. I mean, we see each other on holidays. They got kids. I love their kids. Right. So it's funny how that happens.
Mark. No.
For real. They love me.
We was already talking about the little girls trying to get older men. Please stop.
That ain't going to be, no kills.
More kills.
Yeah, it's sweet. It's sweet.
It's sweet.
I think what you said, the family aspect is the main thing. Because, you can have friends, someone you hang out with, someone you go out to the club with, someone do that. But family is around when shit gets real.
Yeah,
family is around
just doing nothing.
Right. Family is something that like you can't get rid of family. I couldn't get rid of y'all. I had to do something really bad.
It's been many times we've met, in this
area.
house. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Just did nothing the whole night.
Yeah.
Hey,
what y'all doing?
Sat and laughed at everybody.
This was like the hub. This was the main hub. We meet here, and if we would do something, it would have to. The idea would have to come up.
Put the wood on the walls.
That's wow. Yeah.
I remember that.
Has been here a while.
We did that. We stayed out of trouble. Our parents loved it because we were.
Yeah,
this was the house.
They all knew where we were gonna be at.
Even if we were in separate areas at the time, and we all met somewhere else, we would always come back here.
Mm-hmm.
And there's always an unspoken loyalty between all of us, even if it came to, did you know she was pregnant? In the hospital having the baby.
You said you
did
didn't
you know she was pregnant?
I didn't know.
I
did not know. They brought.
And this was their thing. How you her best friend? Look, wait. How you her best friend and you ain't know? She ain't tell me. I ain't know. Then gotta go sneaking.
I didn't know because if you knew,
our stories better be the same.
if you knew, Jessica, she wore kind of baggy clothes. You used to wear baggy clothes.
I guess you would call me queer then.
No, I call you Queen Latifah. You wore baggy clothes.
Yeah, but that was the era, though. That was the era
we
grew
hit it
up
for
in,
the
the
whole
baggy
9
clothes.
months. Lord, wow. That's
crazy.
Yeah. I didn't go.
She didn't show. She didn't show.
I didn't go.
But she knew. She didn't show, but she knew. She knew. I didn't.
I didn't know about that stuff then. I was innocent.
You were a baby.
Well, for what it's worth, I didn't know either.
Damn it, Joel.
But I think
I didn't know.
I'm starting to see more what Sharita was saying, because when I talk to people about their friends and their friendships and things like that, it never goes into anything like that. It's always something, oh, well, we work together. Or, oh, well, we just met.
Yeah, we just met 6 months ago.
Yeah, something like that. That's my best friend.
Ain't no lifelong, ain't no 20-year friendship.
And I'm not saying that that's what it always has to be, but I do now realize that once she brought it up, that it is something different and something special in it. Because there've been, like Taz was saying, there have been people that I've met and I'm like, okay, these are friends, but they just kind of drift off.
Look, they showed the show. Now I be threatening them on the side. Honestly,
some people get friendships to get stuff out of it.
Yeah,
like a lot of times people get I'm gonna get friends with them because they know somebody or they have a connection, or some people, they do it as a status thing. Like, oh, this person is doing this, so if I become friends with them, maybe that could help me look better. Yeah. We didn't have that. We all were come from humble places, so we didn't have to become friends with each other just so we can get something out of it. The only thing I got out of it was just a good friend. I didn't want anything else. Yeah. Like, oh man, like if I hang around D&T, maybe girls will like me or whatever. Like that didn't work. It didn't work anyway. So so I mean, that'd be different if I was, if I was trying to get something out of it. But no, it just.
So you didn't have an R.Kelly circle.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
It always comes back around.
It's full circle.
Yeah, it's full circle.
And I think because we're females, it's a little different. I won't say we haven't had arguments. We don't argue, but she done been mad at me before.
Like, Dad, you should probably get off that car.
I was not
she was actually ride or die for that one.
You were supportive of that.
She was supportive, right?
Yeah.
But see, the way I find out that she mad at me, it'd be like, we ain't talked in 3 days, and I just send her a message like, hey, you not talking to me? She's like, yeah, because you did such and such. I mean, no, you gotta tell me.
Let me know when you mad.
It hasn't happened in a long time, but like now she'll just say, "D, you doing such and such and such." Oh, you know what? You show right, my man. And that's the good thing about friendships. Like she not just like you say. We're not telling each other something to be malicious. We tell each other We tell each other stuff to help. And we're all open to constructive criticism.
And if you know that person is capable of doing something good and they don't do it, it kind of disappoints you. Like I know that you can be this type of person.
You're better than this.
Yeah. So that it's more like.
And we want to see all of each other
everybody better in some way, shape, or form. Like when I envisioned the show in the beginning, when I first started doing this, I always saw her doing it with Taz, and I remember asking her to do it with me. And Taz like, nah.
I don't remember.
Because it was, well, it goes like, well, think about it. This was almost 8 years ago, and I'm like, dude, I want to do a podcast. The fuck is that?
It sounded like me, but I don't remember.
So, this show started off where it was just, me by myself, and then Taz heard it and was like, okay.
Brought this other chick in. And then I remember being like, why the fuck wouldn't she ask me to do the show? She got another chick on the show, and I'm her best. Why wouldn't she ask me to do the show? And she was like, I asked you, and you said, I don't remember that.
I don't remember that.
Both of y'all are here. Maybe y'all can explain the BWC, the biscuits with chicken or whatever the hell it was. What was that?
Okay, so in high school, everybody has their cliques.
Yeah.
It just is. Everybody has their cliques. You have your friends that you hang out with.
We had the dumbest clique in the world.
Yeah,
we were awesome though.
We were stupid.
Everybody,
but we had so much fun.
I think we were stupid, and we were teenagers, and all teenagers are stupid.
Yeah. What's funny is we all have I don't know if we all, but everybody has these moments in their lives where you're like, okay, I remember doing this or whatever. I have notes and letters from Taz that we would pass in class. Yep. You guys had text messages or whatever. I actually have the notes and stuff.
Not that much.
No. I don't know. I'm pretty sure
after right after we graduated.
Pagers had just came out. Yeah, they got to 9th grade. Pagers had
so
my first nude came through the mail.
And the sad part is, I know which one he's talking about.
They mailed it?
Yes. Yeah.
What?
Just from a Polaroid.
Yeah, we weren't in texting yet until like probably
Whatever.
like
how else was she gonna get into it?
No, but what I mean is, do you have stuff like that?
No.
That's what I'm saying. So
we didn't write each other.
No,
like,
we didn't.
Yeah, they're guys. Like we're.
I know that, but that was how we. You could actually talk in class because they were fucking retarded if you said anything.
I don't even know what these niggas' handwriting looks like.
I
don't. But I have notes and stuff that we just talked about stupid shit in class or whatnot. And when I think about it now, like, we had no fucking clue about what to talk about with life or anything. This shit just made no sense.
Let us be like, I'm like, what were we talking about?
That's what I was about to say. So that's when you come back with what the BWC is, it is what you think it is.
You told me biscuits with chicken.
It is biscuits with chicken, but
we had to make up something.
Because, you can't be like bitches with class.
Yeah, we had to make up something it was originally bitches with class. But when we would say BWC, everybody asked what it was. We couldn't be in front of teachers talking about this bitches with class. It's biscuits with chicken, and we had niggas with ketchup. We were stupid. Like
so that was the guy.
The guys
was niggas with ketchup. Now, I don't know what they NWK.
Yes.
Wait.
You know what?
I understand why you would change BWC, but niggas with ketchup already has niggas in it.
Right.
Why wouldn't you?
Why would you say that?
We weren't going to get in trouble for that. That didn't have nothing to do with it.
That made no sense. Like, you spoke...
They named themselves after biscuits with chicken, okay?
We not as smart.
That's what we're saying. When you were a teenager, you were not smart.
We were dumb.
That was...
with ketchup.
Niggas with ketchup.
But biscuits with chicken. There was a group of 5 of us. We did everything together. We dressed alike when my mom would let me. Or I would sneak whatever I was gonna wear in the bag.
Because we would dress alike unintentionally. We would go to class, we'd go to school, and like one of us would have on the same shirt. I remember one day I'm in the cafeteria, and T comes in. He got the same shirt and I think same pants too.
Yeah, I think.
And I saw it, and I looked. We just looked at each other. We both. I was like, don't even sit by me. Sit over there.
And this was first thing in the morning, so we got to go through the whole day of school wearing the same shit.
The funniest one was it last year with the Christmas sweater?
Yeah, that was.
That was shit. They were like, I think either T or Mark. One of them was like, "Hey man, I just found a throw this Christmas like Rocky sweater." Like, and he explained it out. He was like, "Wait a minute, is it like this one?" And he showed him the picture. And he was like, "Oh, I'm already bought mine." Are you kidding? Mark's like, "I gotta figure out something else I can wear."
Yeah, I already ordered it online, and then I found out
mine's already here.
And I was like, "Damn it, he won!" Like he ended up wearing it because
Oh, yeah. But yeah, it happens all the
time. It's unintentional.
We did stuff on purpose. Like, we went to the skating rink one time. We went to the skating rink with them Destiny Child, Army Fatigue.
Well, y'all had the
bell bottoms and
we got that
crop top.
They had the Letterman jackets too.
We did that.
Yep, the Letterman jackets. The black jackets. Black Letterman jackets.
We didn't like green.
Yeah, I was
black with the white.
I had it in my Letterman.
We looked like Sharpstown. We literally, our jackets looked exactly like Sharpstown. There was no difference. The words of jackets were green and yellow, just like Sharpstown.
Yeah.
But to be clear, Sharita, it's more of a family than a friendship.
Yeah.
Basically, like the whole jealousy thing,
it
happens. It's like, it's out of love. And it's really a family. Like, these guys, I know they kids. I follow their wives on Insta, whatever. Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, all of that. Like, we all know each other's families, and it's a family.
And that's not, like, because friends be like, okay, I'll see you when you do this specific stuff. Nah, we see each other all the time. Yeah. We've lived together.
I tell people, I ain't got no friends.
That's another
thing.
Like,
well, what about Jessica? I'm like, that's my sister.
Yeah.
That's another thing. Like, we've lived together, too. Like, we've been roommates. All of us have lived together at one time.
Except me and Taz never did.
No, I don't live with people.
But
we've lived together.
I have not lived with this group of hooligans.
Oh yeah, Jules is not.
Put that out there.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Y'all didn't live with Jules.
Well, technically, some of us did for 2 days in Austin.
You can say that.
I think another thing that makes it, I guess, a little bit different, even though D is my brother, we've always necessarily had like a friendship. And it hasn't been necessarily a brother.
We have the twin thing, even though we're not twins.
Yeah. Yeah. It's been more than just a brother-sister relationship that had evolved to a friendship.
Y'all have a lot in common.
Yeah.
Me and my sister don't have anything in common at all.
We have the twin thing.
And it's out of, like, the weirdest thing.
My side hurts. You know what that could be? My side is hurting, too. Like, so that's why my fucking
I knew
side
it was
hurts.
you. Yeah. I knew it was you.
I hit myself the other day.
I don't know.
Only thing me and my sister share is parents. That's we don't have anything in common. So like it would be times where I'd see y'all too, and I'd be like, I wouldn't say I wanted that, but it just was weird to me. Like, damn, like that's a cool ass sibling relationship that I just don't have. Like, it just don't.
But we have other
I have
siblings.
that with I had that with my oldest brother and my oldest sister. I have that relationship. So when I see people that don't have that with their siblings, I be like, what's wrong with y'all? You don't talk to your sister.
No. That's the other thing. We also, Dee and I, we have other siblings as well, but it's just a bond that we actually share. And I think that is cultivated throughout the entire friendship. So you guys are all friends. And since we're so much alike, it just kind of, I don't know.
It branches. Like
it really does. And even so, like, as you said, me and Dee, we're close. We both like to play video games, and it was funny. He's playing video games with some guy online just randomly one day. Tells me, okay, come on, jump on with it. We'll play it. Okay. That guy knows one of the guys that I actually work with. And has been friends with him for God knows how long. Wow. It was just like, how the hell does that even happen?
It happens.
Yeah, I think the other thing too is that we literally talk every day through Hangouts. That's another thing that I found that is weird between other people. It's like they don't, even though you have like your best friend, you don't actually talk to them every single day.
Yeah, we
like
talk.
there's probably like when there's
literally from the morning to the evening.
Yeah, like we were saying something.
Sometimes I gotta mute y'all because I'm working.
That's what, like in the fellas room we talk together. And we'll have like if there's a day, like if there's part of the day that goes by, like say we wake up at 9 or something, and it's like 5 o'clock. Well, somebody will go in the room like, damn, y'all
where the
niggas
hell
quiet.
y'all
Like, what is going on?
Or in the opposite with him. With him,
I'll pop in and say some dumb shit.
He'll pop in and then we'd want to get an explanation or something else. And you never get it till like days later.
I will say, I think we have a 3-day like time span because if it goes about that third day, I'm like, what the hell is Jessica?
But see, he'll say something like, I just saw aliens land. And we be like, okay, that's it? You ain't gonna say nothing else? Then 3-4 days later, yeah, man, they was over there.
What are you talking about? I'm talking about the aliens.
We already talking about something else 3 days later. He continued from the conversation when he was here. I'm like, goddamn.
One of the main things is when, we've been talking about something. The main thing is when we've been talking about
conversation wasn't over there.
Like the entire time, we've been literally just talking about this topic. And then we like finished talking about it. And then Jonathan comes in, hey, did y'all hear about this? Like, nigga,
Scroll up.
Y'all talk too much, so I don't want you to take that away.
But we'll literally just have finished talking about it. Like, you don't even have to scroll that far.
It'll be like 2 minutes ago.
We'll be talking about the R.Kelly thing all day. He'll come in. Hey, man, y'all seen that R.Kelly documentary? Like, bro, that's what we're talking about right now.
Oh, okay. And I go.
Yeah, Johnny's like, oh, okay. And then, you were literally just go back 4 days.
And I know,
you didn't want to say nothing about it? Like,
y'all said everything.
And I remember somebody just recently was like, hey, Jono, can you call me? And then I remember T was like, well, you'll get that call like a week later.
I hope it wasn't urgent.
It was Jules. Jules was like, hey, Jono, can you call me? And T was like, well, I hope it ain't an emergency.
You better call him, please.
You're not going to get no reply back.
That's not going to happen.
You know what's crazy about that?
Hours of operation.
What's crazy about that situation is, and it kind of goes back to the family thing, is like everybody's close enough that after I told him to call me and he didn't, I just called his wife and got that.
Yeah, that's how close we are. Yeah.
Like, is he John by you? Yeah, he's right here. Tell that nigga to lay this down.
She hit me. Hey, they looking for you.
That's a good point, Jules. Like, we know we close with not just our friends, but like literally like extended family and stuff. where you can get a hold of someone. Yeah. That's a real family. That's not just a friendship.
His wife now thinks when I message her that I'm immediately looking for her.
Yeah.
Like, that's the first thing she asks. You looking for John off? You know,
yeah. Just I'm trying. It's so sad. But
that's so
I think that was a good question because I'm gonna try to start incorporating because we get so many emails and like right now we got
read the emails on the show.
Dude, we got 5,000.
Well, pick out a couple.
Emails. Like I know. Like I'm gonna try to start doing. I'm gonna try to start doing that. Yeah. I'm gonna try to start doing that more. But I just thought this one was a good one.
Them kids.
I'm gonna just try to start. I'm gonna try to start
doing this. Hell, I'm talking about.
Whatever.
You have to edit that out. Just
we're not doing this R.Kelly circle.
No, we're not.
Keeping the same circle we got.
Well, yeah, the circle's closed. It stopped at Jules and Titus for us. The circle's closed now.
You cut off.
Wait a damn minute. How you gonna close the circle? What if I get friends?
Yeah.
Huh?
How you gonna close the circle? What if I get friends?
You ain't got no friends.
Well, they can't get in the circle. They like wait on the outside.
You better stand in line, wait on somebody to die.
They ain't coming into the fellas or the ladies and gentlemen room. Knock on the window.
So when I get married, my wife can't get in the circle.
Okay, see, that's different.
You got to marry in.
Yeah,
that's
different. You got to marry in.
But as far as the fellas, we got to fit in a Suburban.
Wow.
That's pretty like when we went to
no 15 passenger vans around here.
You can't fit in a Suburban too much.
Oh yeah, shit. We forgot about it. Yeah, Sean is the other one.
Oh yeah.
And then he came from
Sean came, from
Hart.
You're right, yeah.
See, he tried to bring Tim in the situation, but that wasn't happening.
He wasn't consistent. You gotta be consistent. You gotta be consistent in the group activity.
Yeah, but I think that's what Sharita was actually pointing to is that people tend to be more like you say, kind of like shallow. It's just like waiting pool. It's superficial for the most part. They just
but some people, and some people just they don't even really look at it as a friendship. They just look at somebody who can be convenient at the time. Yeah. Like, oh, this is convenient right now, so I'm gonna go ahead. But when an actual friendship, you don't have any control over. It literally just happens.
Yeah. And you go through things together, too. Like, y'all went through growth.
We literally grew up together.
Right. We done been through parents' deaths and,
breakups
children's
and
births
all kinds
and breakups.
Of stuff. And if someone isn't around or if they aren't going to be around for that, that's not an actual friend. So that's how you know someone's a friend when they're not just... Because friends are fun. Friends are fun, but friends are also supposed to be...
It's work.
Like, she probably one of the only people that's never seen me cry.
So like a Sesame Street.
Friends are fun. But they are fun, but they also supposed to be there when shit's supposed to happen. They supposed to be there. So, Hey, with friends, you have situations like, T, go get the gun. Remember that? That's a friend shit.
Now I got like 13 of them.
Let's not tell everything.
Hey, that's all I'm saysaying. That's all. He know me. T, go get the gun. That's a friend thing.
That's legal in Texas.
Yeah.
Whatever.
And T was like, all right.
Well, I mean,
he didn't say all right. He's like, for what?
Hold up. You don't ask the questions, man. Yeah.
That's like when I said, bring me some flip-flops.
I don't remember.
I don't remember.
I didn't even. She was like,
no, I said, bring me some tennis shoes.
She was like, I need tennis shoes.
I think we already knew the situation at that time, so there was no reason to ask.
I mean, because of where we were, and then we had to leave suddenly. So
I'm just saying that's what real friends are. Like when it's the bad shit, when they're around for that stuff, that's how you know they're actual friends, and they're not just there just to have a good time or just to be
around when I egg my own window. You were around when I got soda on myself somehow.
I was in the car too. We was in the back seat.
I think that
you were driving.
I remember that too.
Remember that?
I remember hearing about it.
He had a white shirt on.
I know what he's talking about.
And you got.
I don't remember.
I know what he's talking about.
But she was blamed for it because she was the aggressor.
See?
Whatever.
That's what I'm
saying.
It was her road rage. It was her road rage that started it.
No, who said? Don't let the window down. Throw the drink on it.
Who the fuck? Yeah. Who the fuck?
The window if I give you was down. I just hit the.
He aimed it wrong.
Yeah.
And it fell down on his shirt.
Okay.
It's your fault.
But I guarantee you, when I get up to the pearly gates, the guy gonna be like, "You're sister should have put you up to that.
No, I will stand by that for the rest of my life. Why in the hell is it my fault you ain't got hand-eye coordination?
Because I ain't supposed to be throwing shit at other people's cars to begin with.
Again, why
he said he ain't got practice in doing this.
And she's the older one. We're the young.
Exactly.
We're the impressionable youth in the car.
I am trying to teach you how to associate in this world.
There was a woman who got 3 years in prison for throwing a cup of ice in somebody's car.
You are killing. They the little girls. They the little girls.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Had your ass been paying attention, you wouldn't have got caught. Had she learned from me, she wouldn't have got caught.
Bring this back around. You see how the R.Kelly circle works. If he tells you something, you're my older sister. I'm going to listen to you.
I am trying to train you how to associate.
How to road race. R.Kelly was trying to train them people too.
That's
train them something else. Yeah,
that was totally different. He's
good.
running trains. That's different.
I have had to throw all kind of things at other random people's vehicles for some particular person.
Whose fault is that?
Your fault. You were the one who got me. I've never done it in my own car.
Well, something wrong with you.
No.
No.
I'm going to have to respectfully decline.
Hey, I disagree.
Okay, we're going to cut this off right here.
All right. Well, yeah, now you... I don't know what the statute of limitations is on all of that. So
I was at a family barbecue.
We will be cutting
always,
the show.
please continue to follow us on social media. SayWHA Radio for all platforms, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all that jazz. Again, thank you for tuning in. As always, the biggest compliment you guys can give us is to really, really, really share, like, subscribe, review the show on iTunes, Google Play, thumbs up on Facebook, everything. Tell your family, friends about the show. We may not be everybody's cup of tea, but hey, let them listen and we can come to an agreement. You know, you like this, don't like this, but that was funny. Yes, it was. Thank you for tuning in. Catch us next week. Same bat time, same bat channel.
I'm dying in this fucking fucked up town. Shit flying in my mouth. Let's get the fuck out of this country, mother. The fuck is that?
Say what again?